Welcome back to Flow Made Simple. I'm Coach Lachlan, and in today's video, I want to talk through a very essential grip you have to know if you're ever going to use sword grip on your steel mace. Now, this grip is something that I talked about a few moments ago while I was filming a mace flow class, and that's why I want to share this right now with you. Now, sword grip is when I'm holding the mace like a sword, right? And in this grip, I can do stabs, I can do spins, I can holster the mace, I can transition to other grips. It's a very useful position to be able to hold the mace in. And this pinch grip is essential for the sword grip, and it's also essential in many other movements as well, because it allows us to control the mace in circular patterns. So, for example, in the flow I was teaching a moment ago, we were using a tail flick to be able to go from a front arrow into a side arrow. Now, in this, there's rotation that the wrist has to go through. And in order to avoid putting too much stress on the wrist joint, I want to make sure I'm using the pinch grip. And so that's what I'm going to teach you right now. The pinch grip is incredibly simple. It is simply gripping the mace between thumb and forefinger, pinching hard and letting the other fingers either rest more lightly or letting them come off entirely, like so. Now, the reason this is so essential is, again, to make sure we're not stressing the wrist. So if I do a sword spin like so, where I'm spinning the mace around, and I'll just walk us through that real quick so you can learn how to do a sword spin. I am going to be using this pinch grip the whole time to apply the most pressure on the mace. I don't want to be gripping super hard with my last couple of fingers here, especially my pinky finger, because if I keep a death grip on the mace as I try to spin, I have to get my wrist much more engaged, and it'll even draw in my elbow or shoulder to try to make that happen. It kind of pulls it out of alignment. And so instead, what I want to do is have a pinch grip on the mace between thumb and forefinger pretty tightly. And what I want to do is let that carry itself through this spin. So that's our pinch grip. Now, to do the sword spin, I want to make sure I'm holding the mace in sword grip, and the balance point should be towards the tail. So you can see I'm gripping right next to the head of the mace, and that's so that I can let the tail drop down and let that extra weight carry the spin. So I can let the momentum make the spin happen for me. So I'm just gonna drop the tail down, I'm gonna turn my wrist slightly up, pinch grip, and let the mace spin around. And so I wanna prioritize the pinch grip, and you may even notice that if you're doing this, you're actually gonna lose some contact with your index finger, and instead you'll be pinching between really like part of the hand connected to the index finger and the thumb itself. And that's okay. It's really part of the same pinch grip. It's just a different point of the spin. And so that is what I'm doing here as I spin the mace around. And so you'll get more comfortable with that. And if you need to make it easier for yourself, you can also spin and then turn your upper body away from the actual sword spin itself and drop the elbow inside towards your body. And that can also make it easier. So as you do these sword spins, the primary tips to recap this, I need a pinch grip between thumb and forefinger, especially pressure between the thumb and the knuckle of that index finger. And then I need to be able to have the heavy end of the mace end up in front of the hand. So I'm gripping behind the balance point so that the tail is heavier, and that way I can spin around like so. And you can notice I can spin outside my body, I can spin inside my body and end up in this holster, and that's a great way to be able to transition through back pass and do all kinds of cool stuff. So learn the pinch grip, practice it in the sword spin like I just taught you to do, and it's an amazing grip that will help you to do many more things with the mace, especially when it comes to creating circular patterns. So if you enjoyed, please share this with a friend because it's an amazing topic, and if you have a friend who wants to learn how to flow with a mace, this is one of these tips that they have to know about. So stay in the flow, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Please share this, and may the mace be with you.